Media. Listen. Media, listen.
I didn't forget to go live that time. If you watched my last episode, you know what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and start with the little background music, man. It's so. Let's see. It's too quiet. Oh man, but it's 8:58, right? What's 2 minutes? Although I did tell people 9 o'clock, but does it really matter? Anyways, I have a special guest, not in the building, of course, but he's with me through video. Everybody, welcome my childhood friend, realtor slash special guest to the podcast, Mr.
What
Jesse
up? What up, y'all?
Rodriguez.
What up?
Coming at you live from, where do you live, man?
Alvin, I'm still here in Alvin.
In Alvin? Good old Alvin.
I'm telling you, you leave, but you always end up coming back.
You know what? There's still a little part of me over there. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yeah. My mom always tells me, like, you always dreamt about leaving Alvin, and you know, here you are thinking about moving back, and I'm just like, may happen. Who knows?
I mean, look, we've got a few different or a few newer things than I guess what we grew up with. You know, now we have an Olive Garden.
That's
and
true.
a Chili's.
Chick-fil-A. You know, do you have a Chick-fil-A?
We have a Chick-fil-A. We got a Panda Express. Damn. I mean, we're giving Pearline a run.
You have a Chipotle?
Money.
I can't remember. No, you don't have a Chipotle?
No, I still have to go to Friendswood for that.
A little bit of a drive, but hey, it's worth it, right?
Yeah, not too bad. I still like it here because it's that small town feel, you know? It's you know, Pearlane is so overcrowded now. Friendswood, League City. It seems like everything else is going. Even now, Manville is like exploding. So, Alvin's still my little tucked away paradise.
There's a lot of new homes in Manville. I have seen that though. So I'm like, man, is it really growing that much?
Oh yeah, they just got a brand new HEB. And
I saw that Highway 6 and 288. Huge.
Yeah.
It'll be like Donald Trump, huge.
So yeah, that whole area is supposed to be like the Manville Town Center, similar to Pearland. Yeah. So it's just gonna grow.
Sorry guys, if you see me moving my eyes a lot, my contacts are bugging me again. I just recently put them on. I guess it's the nighttime. I don't know, or maybe the garage. I don't know what it is. Anyways, Edgar started off with the comments by saying, "Love the whole background, except the cowgirl's blanket. LOL, messing with you. Keep doing your thing, bro." Thank you for watching, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for supporting always. I know they support the hustle.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate that, Edgar, for the comment. Even though it wasn't to my liking because you're dissing the Texas team, the real Texas team.
Well, America's team.
There you go. You know, people are low key Cowboys fans. They just don't want to say it.
Look, dude, I
really believe that.
My dad was a diehard Raiders fan.
Yeah,
but he raised me to be a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I tell everybody, you'll find Dallas Cowboys fans everywhere. Only Houston Texans fans are in Houston.
Yeah. You'll never find Houston Texans fans anywhere else. That's
Hell
for sure.
Hell no.
Unless you're in the military, but are low key from Houston. But
exactly,
that's really it. But you and I have been knowing each other since we were, I want to say 6 years old, 5 years old, somewhere around there.
We were young.
Yeah, we known each other for such a long time.
We grew up going to church together. Sunday school.
Schools. Yep.
No,
I still remember you and your family, man.
I'm telling you, I think if there was ever a Sunday, because me and all my cousins, there was like 12 of us. If we ever missed Sunday school, there just was no Sunday school class.
Right? You guys ran the whole church like, hey, by the way, that's my cousin. I was like, God dang, like, like dude, bunch of you guys running around.
You know, Mexicans. I remember we all rode the bus. We rode the same bus. and we'd all get off at my grandma's house. So half the bus got off at my grandma's house.
That's so funny, man. And I think we all basically, well, most of us went to the same school together as well. Like, I'm telling you, Alvin is small. Like,
Oh
really
yeah,
small. I think there was only like two very well-known elementary schools back in the day, and we were in
oh
one
yeah.
of them.
And there was one high school. There was like two junior highs.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you're right.
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was a small town. So if you see all the guests that I have, and I've been knowing them for years, is because we grew up in a small town. We didn't have no choice.
Oh yeah, yeah. And again, like I said, it all revolves around church. You know,
Yep.
our parents, our grandparents. You know, they've known each other forever and ever and ever. So
Die-hard church people.
it was inevitable, man.
Not saying we're not, but it was like they're like, if you could, like, those people have literally like they've gotten a ticket to heaven, like no doubt about it.
Oh yeah. I tell my grandma, I'm like, put a good word in for me when you get up there, because I'm gonna need it.
I'm gonna need it. Like, yeah, man, I completely get you. But as of now, you are currently a realtor,
Yeah.
and as if you know, I like to have a lot of guests on the show, ask them questions about the profession or about life, catching up, where that's what we're doing right now, catching up here and there. I like to get to the hard questions last, or the questions last, mostly because I like to start the good vibes going, get you comfortable, get you loosened up a bit.
Get them comfortable before you make them sweat. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another name for my show, Made You Sweat.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
My friends are like, Made You Sweat, yeah. For those 3 people that are currently watching the episode of the podcast right now, go ahead and hit that share button wherever you are, either Facebook or YouTube. Go ahead and share me with your friends, family, whoever it may be. Help me grow, make me grow.
Support.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get started with first of all, how do you like doing what you do?
So obviously I love it, or else I wouldn't do it. Even just starting to hear, a lot of people don't know that you have to do 180 hours of online classes to get licensed, and then you have to be fingerprinted. You got to, get, you have to apply with the Texas Real Estate. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you have to do. And so I tell everybody, if you're just thinking about it, or you maybe just want to try it, maybe reconsider, because it's a lot.
Really?
Oh yeah. But like I said, I love what I do. One of the things that people ask me is like, what is your why? And why do you do what you do? And I always say it's because growing up, I thought living in a house was impossible. Everybody I knew lived in mobile homes or apartments or with family, more than one generation living under a roof. And there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but I just thought that's just how it was going to be forever, So helping people see a different way, or helping people that think the exact same way that I thought see a different thing, it's the best thing ever.
Well, that's good, man. You got out of that thinking mode and started doing your own thing. Right?
It's
part of growing up.
It really is, and just learning different,
You want better for yourself too.
Oh yeah, and everybody else. I tell everybody, I'm happy for everybody that, any kind of step they take in life, whether it's getting married, having a kid, buying a home. I'm happy for everything on everybody.
Oh, that's good, man. You got to have that energy, though. Like I was telling you before the episode, I feel like somebody in your position just constantly has to be in a good mood. Otherwise, other people are going to feel the bad vibes. And
I don't
think I want to deal with this guy.
Pablo
Gordon said, "Nice background, bro. Thank you so much for that." Thank you. I'm pretty sure. Thank you guys for that. I've been having it for a couple weeks now. Just now noticing, just now tuning in. It's all good. It's all good. I'm glad you guys are back. Guys are back watching the pod, noticing the background. But yeah, man, we're here. We're doing our thing.
It looks good, man. I like it, actually. If you have me back on again, I'll have to do something with this.
with the been a while.
With the blank wall.
It has been a while, Pablo. You haven't been watching this, but hey, man, one day I'm gonna get you back on here again. Just watch. I just need a good conversation to start that one off. Well, what's life been? I mean, how's life been for you, man, lately?
I mean, life has been good, you know. It's just been pretty simple, honestly. You know, work tends to be my life a lot, you know. But then also making time for family. You know, I have two of my brothers that moved out of Alvin, so like one lives in Midland, one lives in San Antonio. And so anytime I get a chance to see them or they're in town, I mean, I take complete advantage.
Where's Midland? Where's Midland at?
Like
Texas?
up by,
Texas?
up by Odessa. I think it's like towards the Panhandle, kind of.
Sorry, I'm kind of moving around. I have to get comfortable because, see, I can't be in one position for a certain amount of time because then my legs start hurting.
Oh yeah,
damn arthritis. I'm just playing. I don't have arthritis, so for whoever thinks I do, I'm just playing with you. God,
it's them 30s showing. Don't lie.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Hey man, you don't ask a personal question like that, but I will tell you. I am. You know what? I tend to forget how old I am. I'm 33, but I tend to forget. I constantly have to think about it because people are like, "Why do you have to think about it?" Because I have kids. There's after you have your first kid, you just stop losing count on how old you are and more concerned about how old they are. I don't know why, but well, it's just me. I don't know if it's just a me thing or if it's just every parent. But yeah, that's how I am. I constantly have to think like, how old am I? Like I don't remember. Like I don't remember just like that. But ask me how old my kids are, I'll tell you right then and there. Like, oh yeah, you know, one of them. Blah, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Well,
thank you.
There you go,
young buck. I'm trying. I'm trying to look and feel as young as possible, even though sometimes I really don't. I need to do something about that though, man. Like start taking vitamins or something because you know the body doesn't move right after a certain age.
Man, I'm telling you, I just got used to saying that I'm 31 and I'll be 32 in May. Like I'm not ready for it, but it just happens every year. You keep getting older.
Wait, how old are you gonna be?
I'll be 32 in May.
32. Okay, yeah. Wow.
I'm telling you, man.
Old. Imagine back then, whenever we used to hear people. Imagine back then when we used to hear people like say like, "Oh, I'm 32," and I'd be like, "Damn, you're old." That's us now.
Dude, I remember thinking that by 25, I was gonna have a career, a home, kids. I'd be married. I'd be like damn near a millionaire. Woo.
Yeah, I think we have those high expectations of us, and it's just like, God dang, I'm halfway there, like nowhere near there, but hey, at least I'm moving, at least I'm living, right?
Yeah.
At least I'm here breathing.
Oh yeah, I tell everybody it's a blessing to get old. It really is.
You know, I always thought to myself like, oh, life's gonna be perfect when we're older. I want to go back to them days because those were the best days. Now I'm just like, God dang. Like,
dude, exactly. I know when homework was the biggest like stress in your life,
right? I wish that was now. I wish I had homework to do.
What were you gonna do on the weekend?
Right. But nah, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the questions. I'm pretty sure some people are anxious, not anxious, you know, but like, you know, looking forward to some of these.
Yeah.
Because what if their question hits, you know, one of the ones that I have? Okay, so first question for you, my friend, is how do you help clients determine their budget and financial readiness for buying a home?
Okay. Well, the way that I help them is I get them in touch with a really, really knowledgeable and trusted lender. So I work with all kinds of lenders, and I've tend to kind of, you know, get to know 2 or 3 of them that they work the best with the clients that I send them. They answer the phone, they're knowledgeable. So sending them to a good lender and having them check, you know, their monthly bills or, you know, income, all that good stuff. I mean, that's honestly the foundation for getting them ready. Because I mean, somebody could say, "Oh, well, I want to buy a house that's 260,000," but payment's always going to be different. So, getting them in touch with that good lender and, like I said, someone who's trusted, is key on that one.
How many lenders do you say that you have as of now that you work with?
So, I have at least 3 or 4 that I'll recommend.
Okay.
But it always seems to be maybe 2 of the same ones that I do a lot of business with, just because they've kind of shown me over and over that they're willing to work.
Yeah.
And then 2, I tend to have a lot of clients that work in the oil field, and I have those 2 lenders that they specifically
They specified on that certain.
Yeah, because a lot of times these oil field workers, you know, they have turnarounds. And sometimes they could have 5 or 6 different jobs in a year, or with 5 or 6 different companies. So their expertise is being able to go in and work with that and find the back doors to, you know, to get around that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Belen has a question for you. How can you pick a good lender? Or how can you pick a good lender? How can you apply to many and go from there?
Yeah, so definitely I tell everybody shop around, because not every lender is going to offer you the same thing. Not every lender is going to have the same fees. You know, some may say, hey, look, I'm going to give you a discount on origination fees, or I may not charge you them at all. So shopping around is always important. And then there's like a 30-day window from the first time you apply with one. You can essentially apply with as many lenders as you want within that 30 days without it like killing your credit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you know one thing that concerns me is like how can you apply with all these lenders and not affect your credit, I guess.
Yeah.
I know most of them do burn your credit in order for them to start working with you.
Oh yeah. And I think a lot of people sometimes they equate it to like when you buy a car. So like I recently just bought a car, and I told them, I was like, you know, don't run my credit 1,000 times. And of course, you know, they say they don't, but they do. You know, you start to get the emails like bam, 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 bam.
But I guess they try to get you like the best off. I mean, not offer. Well, yeah,
best rate,
best deal,
the best offer.
Best rate,
yeah. So I mean, it's understandable, but yeah, when it comes to the home buying side and applying with lenders, you have a lot more of a control over how it goes. Yeah,
true. All right, man. I was gonna pick up a question from there too, but I completely forgot about it. Let's go to the next question though. Like, I hate when I do that. I feel like I have to write it down right then and there, because if I don't, there it goes.
It'll come back to you.
Hopefully it'll come back. Yeah.
Can
you explain the importance of location? Yeah, of location when it comes to buying or selling a property.
Okay, yeah. So really, it all just depends on either the buyer or the seller. So like I had a client that they lived in Katy, and they were wanting to move a little bit further out, like on the west side of 99, because inside 99 had gotten really crowded.
Yeah. I was just about to say.
Crowded. But too, so there's a really cool brewery out there called No Labels or No Limit, something like that. And it's their favorite place to go. And so they were like, look, as long as we're within 10 to 15 minutes of that brewery, we're cool. Like, just find us something there.
Is it famous? I've never heard of this.
Well, I'd never heard of it either. But then again, I don't really venture out to Katy that much. But I mean, it was popping. Like, food was great, beer was awesome, the music was really good. It was a cool atmosphere.
So wait a minute. They want to live at least close to there, but what's going to happen whenever the place isn't popping? Like what's going to happen whenever they get tired of it or something? Like,
look, if that was one of their points for wanting to live around there, I don't think it's ever going to not be popping to them.
Right?
Like they love it. You know, at the end of a long week, I mean, that's just their thing.
Yeah, and if you're not going to go ahead and question that either as a realtor either, you're going to be like, okay, whatever you want, I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Your happiness is my happiness.
Exactly. So I know I'm questioning it right now, like what's gonna happen, but I know for you, it's like, whatever, dude. So you're like a tattoo artist. Well, where do you want it there? What do you want? That? Okay.
Right. I'm gonna give you what you want. You know, if ever you decide you don't like it no more, call me and we'll sell it. You know.
There you go. Hey, that's the best marketing slogan you could ever come up with, right then and there.
There you go.
All right. So next question for you, my friend, is I'm gonna have to resize this because I can barely see. What are some key factors to consider when evaluating a potential investment property?
So definitely figuring out what are you looking for. Are you wanting to purchase it, flip it, and sell it and get some kind of return, or are you wanting to purchase it and make it a rental? Obviously, if you're wanting to sell it and make some kind of return, you want to make sure you've done or you've had your agent do extensive knowledge on the neighborhood, on the comps that have sold there within the last 6 months, all that good stuff, so that it's not going to sit on the market. Because you and it sits for 2 or 3 or 4 months, obviously that's costing you. You're paying utilities, you're paying, and you're still holding overhead on everything,
Absolutely.
versus as far as a rental, you want to make sure that you can at least get what your monthly mortgage is on that investment property, or even more, just to have a little bit of cushion. So.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Location is key, per Paulo Gordon. Location is key.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to know that too.
Oh
Eventually, you're either going to want to resell or something like that. And guess what? A lot of people look at stuff like that too.
Oh yeah. Like I just had a client, a good friend of mine that I went to high school with. They purchased their second investment property in Dayton. Now, I lived in Baytown for about 6 or 7 years. And I remember there was nothing going on there. But now there's so much development that's happening, especially with the Grand Parkway 99 going in that area. I mean, it was just like a no-brainer for them.
Yeah.
So,
like you mentioned before, I do feel like 99 is becoming more crowded, and you see that. I see that more because I drive a lot on there right now, and in my head, I'm like, I could have sworn there wasn't much traffic here, and guess what? Now there's traffic on 99. This is crazy. It's insane.
Oh,
but that's
yeah.
because 99 is growing, especially on the Katy side, like you mentioned before. And and I see things around, and I'm just like, that's new. They're coming up with new movie theaters, new amenities, and all that stuff. Entertainment, places to go, and it's crazy. Honestly, you see HEBs, like we mentioned before.
Places that you've never really seen a ton of growth before, like Mont Bellevue, or even like places like Anahuac, Texas, where before there wasn't a lot going on out there. Now, because of the accessibility is there. I mean, people are just moving out there, and it's just making ease for everyone. 99 is even supposed to come here in Alvin. It's supposed to come right through Alvin, and
you told me about that. You told me about that, and I thought that was insane. I was like, what?
Right.
It really is. Like,
like a major,
how are they going to stretch that out?
Freeway.
Yeah, that's crazy. And if you think about it, if you look on a map, it's going to go all around like in a circle, right? Yeah. So it's crazy. Going to go from 99. I think it stops in the Woodlands over here in our area. And if it's going to come all the way down, where would it come to? Like Alvin, and what else? Like, where's the final?
I think it's supposed to connect somewhere on like 146 to go through LaPorte, and then it's gonna go over the Fred Hartman Bridge, and then it connects right there on the other side of the Fred Hartman Bridge. 99's already there, and then from there it takes you, through like Mont Bellevue, and I think up, like I said, toward not Dayton area, and then it just kind of loops back around. It's huge. It's crazy. It's huge.
It's gonna be insane. Yeah. I mean, I want to say I can't wait for that to happen, but I don't know if it's gonna be a good or bad thing. Because like I could say like, oh, it's gonna be cool, but guess what? The traffic's gonna be hell.
Oh yeah.
So.
And
like
I mean,
said, it could be a good or bad thing.
There's some people, they're not too happy about it, but you know what? Change is inevitable.
Property taxes aren't property taxes going to go up if that happens?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why they're going to be upset. Speaking of home, speaking of this episode, The Realtor, that's what we're talking about. For those people that are currently watching me, if you're new to this to the podcast, go ahead and share the video. Share the video as much as you can, wherever you want, wherever you're watching it, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, wherever it is. Just share. Sharing is caring, you guys. But we're gonna go ahead with the next question. I think we're okay. Do you remember where I left off?
Yes. You would say.
Was it this one?
Hold on. Yes. That
Okay,
was
cool.
It. That was it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go to the next question. The next question is how do you handle multiple offers on a property and decide which one to accept?
So
that's a good question.
I was gonna say this is a really good question because we
Yeah.
saw a lot of this during like the COVID years, where I remember I listed a property in Pearland, and literally 30 seconds after I listed it, I had someone like, I want to look at it. I mean, this was like 9 o'clock at night.
What?
Yeah. So
That
as far as
late?
dude, late, I'm telling you, man, those years were definitely crazy, but I mean, it was an experience.
Jesus.
But when it comes to multiple offers, a lot of people think that the only factor is price. But you could have 3 offers that are all the same price, but you could have one buyer that's asking for $3,000 towards closing costs, one buyer that's asking for a home warranty and for $4,000 for closing, and another one that's asking for nothing. So evaluating and seeing, what the best deal is for the seller, as well as what's the seller's bottom line, how much do they need to get into their next house, and calculating all that based on each offer. I mean, that's pretty much how I handle it.
Yeah, pretty much, huh? Because at the end of the day, you're also working for them.
Oh yeah. And
So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, if they're selling their property, obviously they've got to live somewhere after that.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that they've got, talking with the lender, and there's a lot of moving parts, just making sure that they're able to get into the next place that they want, and it's going to be a seamless transaction from one to the other.
Exactly, man. Let me ask you something that I didn't write down. How long did it take you to get your license and all that stuff, and already like, hey, I'm ready to start selling? How long did it take you to actually be like, okay, you're ready to sell, Jesse? Go ahead.
Let me see. So again, like I said, it's a 180-hour online course that you have to complete. And then you have to take a national and a state exam, and then you have to get fingerprinted, and you have to apply with the Texas Real Estate Commission, and they do all their background checks and all that fun stuff. So I would say total for me, because I was still working 2 full-time jobs at the time, it took me about 6 months to get everything done from start to finish. And then I got licensed in 2018, was still working one of my full-time jobs, and just decided to go full-time 2019, completely do real estate. And it was like the best decision I ever made. You just kind of jump in.
2019. So did COVID help you, or did it hurt you in any type of way?
So COVID definitely, I would say it helped and it hurt. It helped because it was something that I had never experienced. None of us had experienced.
None of us. Yeah.
So like in 2019, I remember going to a couple of conferences, and the biggest thing that they would talk about was, trends that were going to come in the next year. And so they were saying that these iBuyer programs like Open Door and I can't remember the other one, but they were, where they come in, they offer the seller a cash deal, and they buy the house so they can get to their next place. They were saying that was going to explode in 2020.
Wow.
And what ended up happening was, COVID
happened.
Inventory dropped, interest rates were down. So, I mean, it was just like a buyer's or a seller's market 100%. So sellers were no longer having to list their home and do open houses and have it on the market for months and months. So it definitely helped me to navigate the market in that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it kind of hurt everybody in some form or fashion, Yeah,
I bet. Man, but I'm glad we overcame that. I mean, look at us now. I thought we were.
I
thought the human race was just gonna be completely wiped out. Yeah. Luckily, that wasn't the case. I mean, I think everybody thought the worst case scenario from all this. Like he said, we were all new to this. We have never gone through anything like this before in our lifetime.
Yeah.
So for us, like it was new, it was scary, and I legitimately thought like that's it for all of us. We're all just gonna
Yeah.
die.
I remember thinking when they were like, "Oh, stay-at-home orders," I was like, "There's no way that they're gonna just let people just stay at home. No one's
Yep.
gonna go to work." But I mean, it happened,
Yeah,
and
it was crazy. It was a crazy time, man.
oh yeah,
It was a crazy time. My kids are not gonna remember COVID at all. So
dude, it's yeah. I mean, I think back on it now, like showing houses with a mask on and going to the grocery store with a mask on. Like to think that we ever went through all that stuff was just like it's you. If you would have told me that in 2019, I would have said, I don't know what movie you're watching, but there's no way.
like, dude, you're mentally insane. Just please check in now because
Yeah,
you're obviously losing it.
yeah.
No, but yeah, it's really like crazy to think about it now, especially since we already went through it. But it's hard to believe like we actually
Oh
went through it.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, like I said, luckily we're still here. We're still kicking it. COVID still exists, but not as much as it was back. Not as
It
scary as it was
it
back then,
wasn't
of
as
course.
scary. No, yeah.
For sure. All right, let's go to the next question. We can you share any tips for staging a home to make it more appealing to potential buyers?
So definitely staging a home helps. We've seen just in research that anytime that you have a house staged, um, the offer price is sometimes, or the offers that come in will sometimes be exceeded 1 to 5%, from the current purchase price. And then in some instances, we'll see that the houses sell quicker than maybe other houses in the neighborhood that are similar and don't have staging. Now there's a lot of photographers that offer virtual staging. They'll virtually stage the photos, so you kind of get that initial reaction when you're looking online. You see, oh, okay, I can see how a sofa would fit in there or dining table, and so
Yeah.
it definitely it helps. It helps a ton, for the buyer to just see themselves there.
Whenever you say about virtually staging,
Uh-huh.
I feel like for me, I hate it. I hate when it says, by the way, it's virtually staged. I'm like, no, show me the actual thing. Because
Uh-huh.
I want to see for myself how much space there is. I don't want to see a virtual
Yeah.
couch there. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna just go in person because obviously these guys just have to virtually put something there. For me,
Yeah.
it's a little bit different. I'm sorry, but like I don't know.
No,
Like
but I get it, man. One of the things that I do is if I do virtually stage a room in a house, right
yeah,
after it, I'll put the photo of it empty.
that's smart.
Because
Yeah.
obviously you want full transparency, and
Hmm.
so, and then to the other side of that, you don't want to overdo it because
Hmm.
I've had some buyers were like, "Damn, that house looks great," and we go in there and it's like, "This is not the same house. Like,
Right?
what is
Okay,
this?"
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Jesus Christ, sorry, a little hiccup came out. Yeah. So puberty just hit. But anyways, it's funny because every time you look at horror, you see some houses and you're like, if you fall in love with it right then and there because of the pictures that how the pictures were taken,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, cool. I want to see this house. Luckily, we have the option to look at the house through our phone or wherever we see it, and then we're able to see, like in person. Kind of find out that house, nothing compared to the pictures.
No.
And it's like, man, I gotta hire that photographer because he made this house look completely different. This house looks nothing like it does in pictures. So
Catfish. Straight catfish.
straight catfish, like for homes. Like it's crazy. Like these photographers make it look like it's more spacious,
Hell yeah.
and it's
You
really
think
like the tiniest little home.
you think the backyard's half an acre and
Oh yeah,
you touch the fence when you walk out there.
yeah. It's so funny because my wife would be like, "Oh my god, this house is so beautiful." I'm like, I'll tell her, don't fall in love with pictures
Oh
because
yeah.
it can never be. It's never what it is, really.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh
you
yeah.
said, it's like a home catfish or whatever. But next question is: what are the most common contingencies in a real estate contract, and how do they impact the buying process?
So some of the contingencies that we were seeing a lot in during the COVID years were like an appraisal waiver. Like
Mhm.
if say if you're purchasing a house and it was 250,000, But obviously back then people were offering way over, 260, 265, 270. So we would see the appraisal waivers where, like, okay, well, if the house doesn't appraise for at least 270, say it comes in at 260, the buyer had the option to purchase or to pay that overage out of pocket so they could still get the house. We
Okay.
still see a little bit of that today, but it helps in the opposite way. Whereas if the buyer doesn't feel like they really want to offer full price, but they'll do it anyway just to get the house,
Yeah.
they can use it in the other side of, like, okay, well, if it doesn't appraise for this amount and it comes in lower, we have to come down to that amount or else the transaction doesn't go through.
I got you. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, we've got that. We've got other stuff like buyers that before they can buy, they have to sell their current house or else they can't buy. So the house needs to be on the market. A lot of times lenders want to see that it's under contract before you can even put in an offer, or an agent will say, okay, well, show me that your house is under contract, your current house, before we even, accept this offer. Yeah, proceed. And then there's financing contingencies, of course, where you have X amount of days, typically 21 to 23 days to get your financing all in order, or else, you don't get the house.
Man, that's a sad situation, though. Whenever you don't get a house, have you ever had a client that are so heartbroken because they couldn't get a house, and how do you comfort them?
So, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, transparency is key with everything. I mean, I've had clients that I've told them, just because you're pre-approved for this amount, I, in my own good faith and my, I just wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I put you in this house and I knew the financial burden that it would be on you.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to be open and honest.
Have to give them the stone cold truth.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, know. I mean, it's not always, it's the less fun part of the job, but at the end of the day, a lot of times they'll thank you down the road because, you kind of let them see through the glitz and the glamour and the facade of, like, and brought them to reality.
Yeah, because I feel like they do fall in love with, I mean, it's easy to fall in love with the house. It's really easy. I feel like it really is, because you start picturing yourself in a new home, new environment, new property, and you just start visualizing how great things will be.
Yeah.
And sometimes that blinds you in a way, like, oh man, let's just go ahead and do this. Like, let's just not think about it. Let's just go ahead and do it. But I feel like you have to have that person to tell you, give you like a little,
reality check.
Yeah, a little reality check. Like, you know what? Yeah, so I'm glad you think that way. I'm glad you're getting them the truth and not, not looking at every client like money sign. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no. Like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, a check to me is it's a positive, but again, I'm trying to have lifelong relationships with these clients at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I want to do right by you.
For sure, man. It's one of those things, man. It happened again. I had another question, but guess what? There it goes. It's all good. Like I said, who knows? It might come back.
It might come back to you.
Next question is, how do you navigate the inspection process and negotiate repairs with the seller? I actually like this question. And okay, before you answer this, I want to go ahead and let it be known that I did not write these questions down. I had somebody else write them down, and that's why I'm just like, oh my God, that's a good question, because like I said, I didn't write these questions down, but that's a good question. How do you navigate these?
They're good, though. They're good.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure these are common questions that are.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to ask a realtor or whatever. But how do you navigate the inspection process and negotiate repairs with the seller? Go ahead.
So I tell everybody there are 5 major parts when it comes to buying a home that you really need to keep your eye on. That are super important. So it's like roof, foundation, electrical, plumbing, and your HVAC, your air conditioning. Because any one of those things, if it's a major breakdown or something happens, I mean, they're going to be
very expensive,
costly, super costly. So, like, one of the things that I do, or like, okay, for instance, I had a buyer that they wanted to buy a house, and I always recommend getting an inspection, always. But I also educate my clients that inspectors, it's pretty, they provide you with just kind of certain knowledge of what they see or what they know, but it's always good to go with an expert. So I had a client that wanted to buy a house. They had the inspector come out. He did his little foundation inspection and came back and was like, the inspection or the foundation is shot. It's gonna cost you $20,000 to $30,000. Like, and they were heartbroken because they loved this house. So
let me ask you something before you continue. How does somebody, or how does an inspector, I don't know if you know about this, but how does an inspector actually test out the foundation? How do they check it?
So from what I've seen, they have like this big yellow box that they kind of set like in the center of the room or center of the house. Okay. And then it's got this long extension, and it measures, from that point, whether the foundation is like an inch or two higher or an inch or two lower. Really? They like to see it. And again, I'm not a foundation expert, or an inspector, don't quote me, but they like to see it within a certain number of inches. And so then that's how they'll kind of determine, if this side's sagging or that side, got some movement. But for those particular clients I was talking about, I have a structural engineer that he'll come out and he'll take a look at the property, and he charges $50 to give you a full report. And he, spent the $50. He came back and he was like, at the most, you've got some sagging in the front of the house. It's going to cost maybe $3,000. That's it. And for $50, he set my client's mind at ease. They were like, oh, okay, we were scared. So making sure you always get a second opinion from a licensed professional. Yeah. And then of course, you take that and you take the inspection report, you show it to the seller's agent, say, this is what my clients are concerned about. And then you negotiate from there.
Okay. And have you ever seen an inspector test out the electrical? How do they check that? I'm not sure if you know.
I mean, for the most part, yeah, I've seen like where, they'll check the panel, they'll see that it's labeled correctly. They'll check, is there a ground fault interrupter? Do the outlets work? But usually, like I said, they just give kind of their opinion as far as, what it looks, and then they'll even put in an inspection report. For further inquiries, have a licensed electrician come out. And so
I got you.
That's kind of what they do. It's a lot of general knowledge. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked really close with an inspector?
Yeah. I have certain inspectors that I like to refer out.
Okay. Those two.
Yeah.
Okay. Very knowledgeable.
I'm telling you, got to have all kinds of people in your pocket all the time.
For sure. I feel like you have to build those relationships.
Oh yeah.
Especially, you never want to go with anybody just like that just don't like doing what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But for those people that are watching me, the 5 people, if you have any questions for Jesse, if you're looking to buy a home, looking to sell, whatever the case may be, go ahead and hit him up. Or if you have any questions for him as of now, go ahead and ask him. We can put it on the live right now. Yeah, ask away. You're comfortable, right, Jesse? You good now, right?
Oh yeah.
I told you, man. I told you the butterflies would go away, man. All right, for our next question, what are some red flags or warning signs that buyers should be aware of when looking at properties?
So another good question. One of the things that I'll say is flipped or remodeled homes. They'll come in and they'll see, again, it's got the beauty factor of, oh, it's new. It's got, new cabinets, new appliances, new countertops, all that great stuff. But again, like, just for example, one of the things that I always look for is like, if it's a home that was built in the 70s or 80s, and they redid the house, but it still has the original windows, I'm like, and it's not always the case, but I'll say, okay, how much money did they really put into this? And again, it all just goes back to getting an inspection done, because what's behind the walls or what's underneath is always what's the scary stuff. And then the other thing I'll say is new construction. I have had so many clients that they go into a new construction office and the salesperson will tell them, "Oh, you don't need a realtor." Like, you know, yeah, I've heard it so many times where they say, I'll even give you a better deal if you don't bring a realtor."
Uh-huh.
And at that point, it's like, would you go to court without an attorney? No.
Why do they do that? Why do you think they do that? Because
Honestly,
they want to keep more money for themselves, or
I don't know. I don't even know if they get paid higher. I think maybe they just save the builder a little bit of money on that side because then they don't have to pay a buyer's agent's commission. But honestly, I don't know. I really don't know.
What? That is a good question. What is the biggest advice you can give to a new realtor? Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. I would say networking. Get out there, meet everybody. Don't be afraid to learn. And like one of the things that I did in the beginning was I took advantage of open houses. In the very beginning, you're counting pennies. So anything that you can do, take advantage of social media because it's essentially free. Free classes. I mean, don't be afraid to ask questions, honestly. Like that's the best advice I can give you.
Okay. I like that. Do you still have do you still have questions? Do you still have questions even though you're a little bit more experienced now?
Oh yeah, because no transaction, no two were ever the same. Like not too long ago, and it was like almost like perfect timing. I took a class on probate, like when someone passes away and either they have a will or they don't have a will. So I took a class on that, and then shortly after I had a client that it was that exact same situation.
What?
Yeah, so they wanted me to help sell a house, and I knew what to do. Of course, I still had questions because again, it was essentially my first time doing this, but there's always something to learn, always.
Okay.
And there's a million ways everything can go wrong. Like, what is it? If it can go wrong, it will. So it's always good to just, don't be afraid to ask questions and stay learning.
I guess one of my questions for a realtor would always be like, did somebody die in this house? I always want to know that. I don't know why. I just do. I just want to know if somebody died in that house. I don't know why.
Yeah.
If somebody was to ask you that, would you be able to tell them? Like,
well, and so even that's funny. So there's certain stipulations on whether you can disclose or you can't.
Really? What?
Yeah.
What are they? Are you able to tell us?
Yeah. Okay,
cool.
So pretty much, so if somebody was murdered in the house, you have to tell.
Okay, cool.
But now if someone died in the house due to like suicide or natural causes, or if it's like a protected class, like someone who had HIV or AIDS, you don't have to tell them. But my rule of thumb, if I have a seller, and I've had one before where something like that happened, I tell them, look, it's always best to disclose, because whatever you won't tell, the neighbors will tell that and more.
They'll find out regardless somehow.
Yes. So just be open and honest and just put it out there.
That's true. Hey, that's good though. Thank you for being that person. Because I'm trying to tell you, like, if it was me, I would ask all kinds of crazy questions, regardless how many people would look at me like, well, bro, why would you ask that? No, I want to know.
You want to know? I want to know. You're gonna be living there.
Exactly. All right, Serena, that's your baby cousin right there.
Oh yes. Hello.
One of the persons that we all grew up with too. Oh, Jesus Christ! I can't even. Okay. I can't see anything right now. My contacts just went full blown everywhere, blurry.
They went out.
Can you see the difference between our buyers? Oh, okay, I think we're here. Okay, I think we're in this question, and I hate that I get a little bit off because they don't tell me in order anymore after I go away for a certain amount of time.
Oh,
Can you explain the difference between a buyer's agent and a listing agent?
So, in a nutshell, the easiest way, a buyer's agent represents the buyer, a listing agent is going to represent the seller. That's
Best
it.
way.
Short and sweet. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Heck yeah. Hey, that's just gonna be those questions that are just gonna be like that, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Have to enlarge it. How do you market properties to attract potential buyers? And I think you answered this already, but go ahead.
Yeah. So again, it's open houses, social media, email marketing. I email blast to everybody that I know, past clients, even fellow agents. Because I may not have anybody that's looking to buy that particular property at that time, but one of my good friends will, or someone in my company. So just as much exposure as you can, honestly.
Okay.
Videos are always, like, to me, have been the most effective, and they're fun to do too. I like to do video.
Like TikTok,
Instagram,
you're on TikTok.
Reels. Yeah.
You're on TikTok. I have to follow you on TikTok. I didn't even know you were there.
I've got some new stuff coming up, so I'm trying to be a little more show like my personality. So
yeah, you need to do like comedy skits.
That's exactly what I'm doing. So you got to check it out. They're coming up.
Hell yeah. You have to tell me your TikTok username. That way I can go ahead and post it here for everyone to see.
Let me look really quick.
You don't even know it?
I should have it memorized, but I don't. Oh, because
it's a
long one. That's why.
Okay. Don't tell me you have like one of those TikTok usernames that TikTok gave you.
No. No. I at least made my own. So,
you know what? Go ahead and text it to me and I'll go ahead and type it.
Okay.
Yeah, that way, because people are going to be like, what did he say?
Yeah, good thinking. Okay.
I went to recruiting.
Okay, so that's my TikTok.
For those of you who probably like, man, he types slow. Look, man, I don't usually stand behind a computer, so I'm usually the type that's like, I type like this, one finger at a time.
Oh my god! You didn't take a typing class in school?
Typing class? I didn't even know they had that.
Gee, wow! I remember when I moved to Baytown, I started in Baytown in 8th grade, and in order for you to go from 8th grade to high school, you have to take a typing class, but you're supposed to do it in 7th grade. So I was taking a typing class with all these 7th graders, and it was embarrassing.
So that's Jesse's. That's your TikTok, right? Right there.
That's my TikTok right there.
Right there at the bottom. Go ahead and follow my boy on TikTok. He's gonna have those comedy skits coming up.
Yes.
Coming up. I'm sorry, I said that kind of weird.
No. But I've got new stuff coming up. I'm excited. So just
there you go.
Again, support.
I got my baby cousin asking you a question. How long before you had your first listing? That's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't remember specifically, but I know it was months. So to give you just an example, so my first year of real estate, like 2018, of course, again, I was still working a full-time job. I did 3 transactions that first year. So it was a little rough. I want to say maybe even, I would say it was probably about 6 months or so, because I was primarily trying to work with buyers. To me, I was like, I'm not trying to go knock on doors and be like, hey, you want to sell your house? So I targeted buyers more. I could have probably had one sooner if I would have done that other stuff, but it was probably about 6 months.
How did you market yourself at the very beginning? Because I mean, you don't have no experience. Like, how did you come up? Was it somebody that you knew? Was it a family member, or how was it?
Well, so initially in the beginning, I marketed to all my family. I was like, please put my name out there if you know anybody. And then again, like I said, I took a complete advantage of social media because it's free. Yeah. You can go out there with your phone, you can shoot a video, you can post it, and then you just really start to get yourself out there. Oh, that's my cousin too.
Hello. Welcome to Major Listen. Go ahead and share.
Thank you, Jonna. But yeah, and then doing open houses. I really hit the ground, just getting to know everybody and learning as much as I could.
That's good though, because look how far you came.
Oh yeah,
Like since then, so that's pretty good. I'm glad you.
Yeah, it's paid off.
Yeah, you literally paid your dues, and now you are where you are.
Blood, sweat, and tears all day long.
Okay, sorry, I was trying to find out exactly where we left off. So here is the next question. The next question is: what resources or tools do you use to stay organized and manage your real estate business?
One, I appreciate that you think I'm organized, because I'm not. Like,
you're not organized?
Well, no, I'm kidding. I am.
Oh, I was about to say. I was like, damn, dude, this dude's like leaving stuff everywhere.
He said, damn, he just outed himself.
He's just like winging it.
No, maybe in the beginning, but I've gotten a lot better.
That's good, man.
So I have I have a CRM that I use, which is a customer relationship management program. I put all my people in there, and honestly, that thing, it is such a godsend. It reminds me when I have clients' birthdays. It reminds me when their home anniversary is. It reminds me to just call them and say hello and check in on them. It's the best tool. And then having a really, really good assistant helps. I mean, that takes off so much of my workload. That's a blessing.
There you go. So do you always email somebody even after the fact that they already bought a house from you and like that?
Oh yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I tell them. I tell people too, like, I'm gonna send you birthday cards, Christmas cards.
They're not like, don't do that. Don't do that, Jesse.
I tell them, I'm like, you're gonna get tired of me. You're gonna be like, damn, I bought the house already. Okay.
Like Jesse, like we're good.
look, buddy.
Look, man. Look, man.
The sender.
They're gonna be like, really?
All right.
Nah, man. Pretty hey, that's good though. Like some people like that, so I completely understand. For me, I'm just be like, bro, I'm done with you. Like, we good. Like you did your thing, I did my thing. Like, you got paid.
I think I've sent you some things actually a few times.
No, you have. And you know what the fun thing about
it is? You messed up because you gave me your home address, and that's it. That's all I needed.
Wait. You're sending me stuff to my home address? Oh yeah, you know what? I actually use those. You sent me a calendar. And I was like, oh, okay. I actually use that, so I put it on.
But that's what I'm saying. It's fun stuff. I'm not just sending you junk.
No. He's not promoting. Like, he's actually sending you useful things.
Exactly.
So I kind of enjoyed that. I won't lie. What was I gonna? Oh, a question that I had is like, how do you get paid? Because I mean, I know you get paid a certain percentage of what you buy or sell, whatever the case may be, but is it like does it hit like in a direct deposit, or do they send you a check, or how is that?
You can. So yeah, once you get to one thing I tell everybody, because there's this misconception that like we just get paid for everything.
Yeah.
So I don't get paid until someone closes or goes to closing and purchases a house and everything funds. So yeah, at closing I can tell them, hey, I'll pick up the check, or you can have it wired or whatever. But as far as like going and showing houses, people think I get paid for that, and I don't.
You don't?
No. Yeah. Go into the inspection with them. I don't get paid for that. I even had one client ask me, they're like, so does your company give you like a gas card or something? I said, no. It's all me.
Yeah. So, how far do you work? Like, how far have people contracted you or like contact you and tell you like, hey, by the way, I live all the way over here on this side? How far have you had drive before?
Bro, I have gone as far north as like almost Huntsville to go and look at land with some clients, because that's where they wanted to be. And I mean, what am I going to tell them? No.
Like, you paying for gas? That'd be me.
I think that time I rode with them and then I bought them lunch. So. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. So they're give and take.
Yeah, it's a give and take time.
Yeah.
Hit them up though. Hit them up if you want that Huntsville.
I know that's right.
Dang, I guess we could go to the next one. Can you provide some insight into the current rental market and tips for landlords.
Okay.
Good question. My God.
Yeah.
Who comes up with these?
Look at you, man. So current rental market right now, a few years back, we used to say it's cheaper to buy than to rent. And now it's kind of the opposite.
That's true.
So the rental market is pretty hot right now. Because again, it just fits into people's budget a little bit better. And then as far as tips for landlords, again, always hire a really good agent like me, because I do everything. I do the applications, I do the background checks, I check their credit, I check their criminal records, I check their rental history. I scrub someone clean, I verify the income. So find you an agent like me that does all the heavy lifting for you, and then they say, okay, this is what I found, yes or no.
What more do you guys want? I mean, come on now. He's doing everything he can to possibly get to the best people. When doing a background check, though, what exactly are you looking for? Like for violations of any type? If they're convicts, or what is it?
So, of course, if there's anything there, we're gonna find it. I've had some people that are like, oh, my stuff's clean, and stuff will come up from like 17 or 20 years ago. It's still gonna come up,
What?
but again, it's oh yeah, because it's your record.
And that affects them?
It all depends on the landlord. I've had some landlords that have said, man, that was 20 years ago, and they never did anything else after that. It's cool. Or even like I can even see, like I said, as far as the credit side, when they opened a credit card, if they've had a missed payment, how many times, if it was a 30-day late, a 60-day late, a 90-day late. But essentially, if they've opened a credit card and it's been open for, 3 years, and they've made consistent on-time payments, usually that's an indicator that they're responsible, and, you shouldn't have any issues collecting rent from somebody like that.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, we've hit the first hour mark. How do you feel?
Good, actually. That went by really fast.
What did I tell you, man? You're gonna be comfortable by the start of the show. What I want you to do now is do me a real big solid, though. You're gonna have to go to your phone, right? You're gonna have to share my live with me, because that's very important for me. Oh, look, there I am. Made you listen.
There you are.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit that share button. There it is, right there.
Oh, it's so funny seeing myself.
Hey man, we're keeping it as real as it is. Like I tell you, we don't rehearse anything. Jesse, tell him right now, man, we didn't rehearse nothing.
Nothing. But you know what? It's better that way. It's better that way.
What more do you want? I'm gonna tag you, Jesse.
Thank you.
All right. Sent you a friend. Oh, I got a friend request. Confirm.
There we go.
There you go. All right. Mine shared. His is shared. Where was I?
All right. You had talked about tips for landlords. Current marketing tips for landlords.
Okay, you already answered that. So the next question, sorry for that period at the front. How do you handle difficult client? Oh, I like this one. This is the one I've been waiting for. How do you handle difficult clients or challenging situations in real estate transactions? This is going to come with another question too.
I don't have difficult clients. Every client that I have is easy and the best, and they're loving people.
Let me tell you something, Jesse. Shut your mouth and give me the real answer.
The nitty gritty.
Have you ever had to fire a client? I heard people firing their realtors, but have you ever fired a client?
Yes.
You don't have to tell me what happened, or if you do, you're more.
I'll give you the instance. I won't name no names though.
There you go. So, you don't have to.
It was in the very beginning when I first got in the business, and of course, I'm hungry. I'm looking for a deal. I'm answering every call. Someone could just say, "Hey, I want to go look at a house," and I'm like, hell yeah, what time? I'll meet you there. Before even asking, are you pre-approved? Do you have money? Like, do you even have a job? So I had one person that, no joke, I showed him probably 45 or 50 houses.
That's a lot.
A lot. All in the hopes of, I was like, man, it's going to pay off. Like, it's worth it. Stick with it. Like, we'd go look at a house and he'd be like, all right, Jesse, this is the one. I like it. Let's get it. And he, I'd get hyped. Yeah. All right, cool. Let me go home. Let me run the numbers. I'd get in my car. Before I would even back out the driveway, he'd send me another 3 or 4 or 5 and be like, hey, what about these? And I'm thinking, we just walked away from the front door like 60 seconds ago. How did you find 5 or 6 houses to look at in that time?
Right?
Like,
it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I was like, are these just saved in a folder? So that client, I had to tell him, look, it's not me, it's you. Don't call me, I'll call you. And yeah, so I had to end that because
you had to end it.
Yeah,
you didn't see it going anywhere.
No. I think if I would have stuck with it, I probably would have showed another 40 or 50 houses and just had my wheels spinning.
So I mean, what was the last straw? Was the last straw like, okay, bro, like you're obviously not buying anything?
I mean, yeah, the last straw, like I said, it was just, I had felt at a certain point I had already done everything that I could do, and we looked everywhere from Texas City to Pearland to Pasadena to downtown Houston, and I'm like, look, at this point, either you just want to look at houses or you don't know what you want. So
that's true.
Yeah. but like I say, with everything else, transparency is key. Setting the foundation for, what's the buyer's expectation and also what's my expectation of them. If you want to look at a $500,000 home, but you don't want to pay more than $1,800 a month, then we need to have a come to Jesus talk and have some transparency and some honesty, because not everybody's going to get everything that they want, but I can get you as close to it as I possibly can if you trust me.
There you go.
That's
Marketing 101 right here. Made you listen. You're hearing it here first. Jesse Rodriguez, the realtor over there, located in Alvin, but he works in all Houston and surrounding areas. There you go. Everywhere. He'll even go to frickin' Louisiana if he has to.
Maybe Beaumont. I don't know about
Beaumont. No, but as we were talking about the difficult clients and all that stuff, a story actually came to me as we were discussing that.
Okay.
My wife had told me a story that one of her coworkers I've talked to her about. So I guess the gentleman is selling his house, and his realtor was showing the house, right? His property, whatever. And the realtor actually found food in the fridge. Mind you, the food wasn't his. Mm-hmm. So she's like, what's going on? So come to find out, she called the cops because there wasn't anyone living in the house at the time.
Yeah.
And the police officer said, obviously it's somebody that's going, it's going around finding out how to get inside this house and living here for a certain amount of time and eventually moving out. So I was like, bro, they actually do that?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's one of the biggest things too. Like, you don't think about it, but I've had to go to a house that was vacant because my seller wasn't living there anymore, but they still had their cameras installed.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, our cameras detected motion. Can you check it out? And of course, me being me, I said, yeah, sure, let me go check. Maybe it was just something. No, I get there. The door's busted in. The door frame is broken. Yeah, the lights are on inside. So, I had to call the police, had to tell them to come out, and it's just sometimes, you get situations like that, but it's just, you've always got to be safe. You never know what you're walking into.
But
So
that's
you always
sad.
gotta be
Who
safe.
who takes care of the damages if something like that occurs? Does the homeowner that at the time take care of the damages? Because like what, like
I mean, sadly, yeah, it falls back on the homeowner,
that's sad, man.
Yeah, but it's like, and there's been times where, I've said, I've told them, well, I can, let me see if I know someone who, will do the work for a little bit less, and I know that they have a good work ethic,
Reputation.
yeah, something to help them out, because, it's
That's
something that you
sad.
don't plan for, but, life happens.
If you're one of those people that take advantage of people's houses that are not home, you're a piece of crap. I'm just letting you know right here, right now. I don't care if I get censored, but you're a piece of crap. Let's go to the next question before I get more
There we
pissed
go.
on. What are some of the benefits of working with a real estate agent versus trying to buy or sell a property on your own?
Well, so first, of course, like I keep saying, we have to go to school for a long time. And then every 2 years, we have to, renew our license. So there's other schooling and stuff that's involved. So with an agent, you're getting expertise, you're getting knowledge.
And you're gaining a friend.
You're gaining a friend.
There you go.
I'm going to send you a birthday card. If no one else does, I will.
So, yeah.
I mean, you've got that. And then, of course, like I said, just there's a million ways a deal can go wrong. And if you've never been through it before, it can be a really scary thing. And then too, again, you never know. Agents make tons of connections, so it could potentially save you thousands, if not more, in the end.
I wish more people are like you, Jesse.
I'm telling you.
Instead of just looking at dollar signs, I hope they're actually looking for our best interest.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Because then if I don't do right by you, you're not going to open my birthday card that sends you.
Be like, Jesse, that piece of crap. How dare he?
Right? Keep your card.
Keep your card. I don't need this, your calendar. Those 8 people that are currently watching me, like I mentioned before, man, share. Oh, really? I went down to 7? Come on. I just had 8. Share the live right now. Share it with your friends, with your loved ones, with your Sancho. It doesn't matter as long as I get views, man. I don't care. I'm not gonna snitch on you. Go ahead.
It's good information.
It's good information. Yeah, we're all growing here, man.
Yeah.
Next question, Jesse. Can you share any success stories or memorable experiences helping clients achieve their real estate goals?
Definitely. I think I have more than one. And like I told you, the biggest why I do what I do is because growing up, I thought that it was impossible to own a home. And I learned after getting into this business, there's a lot of people that thought the same way I did.
Oh, trust me, I did too.
Like, yeah, if you've never seen anyone do it before, you don't often feel that you can. So just helping someone, giving someone a home or helping them get into a home. I mean, the statistics on home ownership, even like when it comes down to your kids, like your kids are more likely to be successful. And if you show them, look, mommy and daddy can do it, you can do it too. I mean, it gives them that leg up. So I feel that, I'm just honored and happy to be a part of these experiences, where I just know it's benefiting people, and laying that foundation.
That's true. Because if I'm being honest, I was one of those people too. I never thought I could own a house. Like, let's be honest. We grew up in a small town. Like, a small town really, like, it's not really popping. It's not really as popular. You don't.
Yeah.
So, most of us, we lived in trailers. We lived in apartments our whole lives. So
lived with grandma, lived with family. Yeah,
exactly.
I remember my uncle, when he bought his first house, not only was it a brick house, but it was 2 stories, and it was in a subdivision. Dude, I thought this man was rich.
Really?
I said, what the hell?
He's selling dope. I just know it.
Bro, I said, what are you doing? I remember thinking, damn, this house should be on like crib, but again, it's you see one person do it, and then it puts that motivation into you.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially, there's some people out there who are still probably 50, 60 years old. They have never owned their house, and
Oh yeah.
it's not their fault. Sometimes it could be because of their background, like we mentioned before. They could
Mm-hmm.
potentially be a whole brand new person now, and unfortunately they just can't own a house, or whatever the case may be. Or there's some people who are older and decided to just barely start owning a house, thinking to themselves like, I would never be a homeowner.
Oh
and
yeah.
and just, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you ever had a scenario or situation like this, but for them to, own a house, you could be making their whole lifetime just by helping them out with a brand new home.
Oh yeah. Even just going a step further and teaching somebody about credit, something that
Yeah.
maybe we're not all taught, or we're not familiar with, like I remember growing up, even too, credit was like evil. Like you do everything in cash, and that's just the way you do it. But just teaching people about credit and how to build your credit and how to handle your finances, in an easier way, is again, knowledge is better than anything that you can give to somebody.
Like Pablo said earlier, knowledge is key. Well, I think, did he say that knowledge was key or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that,
yeah.
something around that nature.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said something
Yeah.
around that. Jesse, I don't know. Tell me if I asked this question already. How do you stay informed about changes in the real estate laws and regulations?
You
This sounds
didn't
so
ask
familiar.
it, but I think I touched on it a second ago. And again, I have a really, really awesome broker that she keeps us up to date on everything. If there's changes to the contract, if there's changes to amendments or addendums or anything like that, Dylan, I can help you. I can definitely help you. I've learned so much about credit. I'm not gonna lie, I started working on my credit like say 3 years ago, and I've learned a ton from it. So,
Really?
oh yeah, like I'm, dude, my credit was like in the trash. First of all, you don't give an 18-year-old a credit card with a $1,600 limit, because that's like $1 million.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I thought I was rich.
I thought it was rich. I was like, and I've only got to pay it back in like $25 increments. Hell yeah.
Oh
But
man, yeah.
dude, I messed it up. But no. So back to the question. Yeah. So we have to do continuing education every 2 years to keep our license, and a part of that is taking legal 1 and legal 2 for real estate, and you got to keep up on everything, because it's always changing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you. Everything's always changing. So I'm pretty sure you have to keep up to date. You never want to tell anybody the same regulations that you had way long ago, and you're not even up to date. Love it. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you, Christy. She's one of my past clients. She's awesome.
There you go. So she can vouch for you. How awesome you are. And there you go, right there. Past client, potentially be future client again. Who knows?
Hopefully, but if not, she's a good friend.
But I'm pretty sure she's telling people about you too.
I mean, and that's the key right there. I'm telling you, that's why I give my A+ service all the time.
There you go. Can you explain the role of escrow in a real estate transaction?
Yes. So, okay. So when it comes to your payment, all wrapped up in one, when they say, okay, this is going to be your monthly mortgage, in that is your payment, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance. So every month that you make that payment, the bank will take out that portion of your taxes and that little portion of your insurance, put it in the escrow account on the side. And when your taxes come due, they pull the money out, pay it. When your insurance comes due, they pull it out, they pay it. They say, okay, you're good for another year. And so pretty much the escrow is kind of like a savings account that the bank sets up for you, so that just making sure all that stuff gets paid.
Yeah, all that stuff gets paid. You don't have to worry about it. Like, hey, oh man, you forgot to pay this.
Bro, especially when your property taxes come due, like 2023 taxes are due at the beginning of 2024, right
Yeah.
after the holidays. I mean, it's good to have that money stored
That
away.
stored away. Yeah, exactly. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Oh God, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? By the way, you
Uh,
owe us $10,000, bro.
right. Like,
I
gotta
don't
take
have that.
gotta take that PlayStation back.
Right? I thought I was rich. Here I am being broke. You got to tell me. You got to remind me about that question that I had that I don't have anymore, that I didn't write down. What was that question?
At what time do you turn off your phone and be done for the
Yes.
day?
Okay, so I know for a fact there's people out there that love just keeping, or just keeping in touch with the realtor. Like, you want to send them the the house that you want to go they see next, or whatever the case may be, whatever question it is. But let's be honest, there has to be some sort of boundaries. So let me ask you something. When are you off? I know people that work from 9 to 5 or make their own hours, but
Yeah,
when are you off? When do you have a certain day that you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna work that day because that is my day?
So I've tried to implement this a little bit more now. Just because, yeah, it can get a little tiring always being on and always being available. I mean, of course, I want to provide the best service that I can.
Mhm.
I know some agents that they turn their phones off after 6. I know some agents that they do absolutely no business on Sundays. Um, so I'm trying to implement to where, like, Wednesdays are kind of the slower. Jonna exposing me. I try Wednesdays are slower for me,
Uh-huh.
so I'll try not to do maybe anything on a Wednesday. But I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Maybe not answer every single text that comes through at 9:45 p.m. or
Okay.
10 o'clock.
So don't
it's a
hit him
work.
up. Don't hit him up after 9, guys. That's just weird.
It's a work in progress.
That's just weird. Don't hit up your real estate agent after 10. That's just like, I used to call after any text after 10 is booty call hours. Like,
There you go. There you go. Nothing good happens after 10
nothing
p.m.
good happens after 10. What are some common misconceptions or myths about the real estate industry?
All right. So one of them is that you have to have 20% down. You do not have to have 20% down. If you're a first time home buyer, or if you're purchasing with an FHA loan,
Mhm.
minimum is 3.5%.
What?
Yeah,
I thought it was
3.5%.
more.
No, 3.5%. That's what I'm saying. See, people think you need like 20% down. People think that inspections aren't necessary because essentially you pay that out of pocket. Until they say, "Oh, I just don't want to deal with it." If I can save me that $400 or $500, I'll do it. But I've seen in the past where you don't do it and it costs you thousands of dollars.
Not millions, but thousands. Yeah, you're
But
right.
thousands. But it feels like millions whenever you're like, "Oh shit,"
On a budget.
Yeah. And
Oh my
then.
God.
And then the one that always gets to me is that selling your house on your own is going to save you money. Again, you would not go into court and represent yourself without an attorney, because there's reasons why we're out here. We've got the knowledge, we've got the expertise. And again, there's a million ways things can go wrong, and it could cost you so much more money in the end if you don't know what you're doing.
Whenever you say people that sell their own house, do you mean like the people that are like, how do you say it?
Like for sale by owner?
For sale by owner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God, there's actually people like that.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't
I
trust
see it. And then too, it's like, again, it's just such a huge transaction, and to some people, this is the biggest investment they'll make in their whole life. You don't want to play with that. You want to make sure you're doing right. So yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this next question. How do you build and maintain strong relationships with clients and other professionals in the industry? Through emails, right?
Well, emails.
Cards.
But the way that I like to do it, again, I do like every year I'll do a pie party. Sometime maybe like a week or a few days before Thanksgiving. I'll tell all my clients, this is going to happen. This is going on. Let me know if you want a pumpkin pie, apple pie, or pecan pie. And I'll usually host it like at an event center or something. They can come, they can pick up their pie, they can do activities with the kids, and then we'll always do like professional photos with Santa. So that's one thing, it's fun.
Yeah.
I'll do what is the other one that I do? It's like a kickoff to summer party where I invite the families. And one time I rented out Bolero, and like all my clients came with their kids and they bowled and we had pizza and stuff like that. So I like to do a lot of stuff in that way.
Yeah.
To again show it's like, look, I still appreciate you. I appreciate your business. And then 9 times out of 10, those same clients will send me their family or their friends. And so again, it's just an extension of thank you so much for trusting me and sending me awesome people like you to work with.
There you go. Speaking of pies, are you a pie guy? And if so, what is your favorite pie?
Actually, I am. So I like apple. Sometimes I shoot myself in the foot because I'll get stuck with way more pies than I would really like to. And you can ask my cousins, my friends, I'll be like giving them away. Like, here, you can have 2 of these. Or I'm like, oh, I was just in the neighborhood. Here, you can have this one. But I do like pie. Yeah.
I love pie too. I'm not gonna lie. Apple cinnamon is my favorite.
Oh,
so,
warmed up,
like,
yes. Oh yeah.
Apple cinnamon. Oh Jesus Christ! Now I want pie. Look what you've done. Last, but certainly not least, the last question. I'm pretty sure I may have more. Who knows? Can you provide some insight into the future of the real estate market and any emerging trends? Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. Actually, I like that this one was last.
Cool.
So as far as the future of real estate, no one knows for certain, what's going to happen. There's projections that come all the time. Interest rates are going to go down, interest rates are going to go up, home prices are going to go down, home prices are going to go up. The only thing we know for certain is that real estate is always going to be essential because people always need a place to live. It's always going to be a great investment, if you're doing it right. And as far as emerging trends, I'm seeing a lot of people that are looking for like multi-generational homes, mother-in-law suites. Now that work from home is such a big thing, a home office is a must.
Home office is a must.
You're absolutely must.
Right. Yes.
Yes. Like, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have my home office. It's a lifesaver. Resort style communities, like there's a community in Texas City called Lago Mar, and it's got like a 12-acre lagoon. They're gonna have condos and a hotel, and there's gonna be like a swim up bar, and
it's so trendy.
It's they're popping up everywhere. I think they're even trying to compete with like Kima. I think they're even gonna have like a Gringos there. So
God.
Yeah, so these communities are really wanting to.
They're stepping it up.
Yeah, they're catering to their residents. They want them to be comfortable in the neighborhood, and they want them to feel that, why go far when I can just go to my backyard?
Yeah, but that comes with a little bit more.
It does. But again, some people, they like it.
Some people, it may be worth it for some people. You're right.
They're willing because now they can go and do that every weekend instead of before when it was like, oh, we got a plan. We can go to Chemo or go to Galveston or once a month or once every 2 months, So to some people, it's worth it.
Absolutely. If someone marries into a household, my wife, do they still qualify for the first-time homebuyers 3% down?
If she is not on the loan, so like if she's not on your loan right now, technically she would be considered a first-time home buyer. However, it gets a little tricky because Texas is a community property state. So essentially what's yours is hers and what's hers is yours. So if she were to go and purchase the house, or say I want to buy a house and use like a first-time home buyer program, they would say, oh, well, your husband's already purchased a home. And again, don't quote me because I'm not a lender, but that's just kind of how I've seen it in the past. It wouldn't, she technically, again, because, her husband owns a home, she wouldn't be considered first time.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Would that question be more for a lender?
Yes, that question is definitely more for a lender because, again, I can only go off of what I've seen, but yeah. It's a lender question all day long.
Oh, okay. Man, I should have had a lender here. You could have gave me one of yours.
I know. I've got a good one.
Oh, we should have.
That's on the
I'm
next
sorry,
one.
I didn't think. Yeah, on the next one for sure. Along with you for sure. Sergio said he'll take some of the extra pies this year.
Oh, you can have them. All of them.
If there's any left over. Now that I found out that he has pies,
I'm telling you, come to my party, dude.
Come to the pie party.
Please.
It's gonna
I don't want to take any home.
It's gonna be how this new generation says it, lit.
Oh yeah, it's busting.
It's gonna be lit. LOL.
Bro, I love. It's so funny because I love when I'm showing houses to clients and they have younger kids.
Yeah.
And like one of my clients, her son, he'd always say bruh. He's like bruh.
My son.
And my client would be like, I'm your mom, I'm not your bruh.
Yeah, it's my son says that too. And why lie? I'm pretty sure he says it because I say it as well.
Of course.
So yeah, these kids, man, they're picking up on things that they shouldn't. Well, I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but hey. They're growing up faster than what we expect.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. So, Jesse, we're done with all the questions, man. I feel like we still have a few more minutes to talk our guts out. I mean, how did you feel about it? What's your take on all this? I mean, I told you it was going to go fast, man. And look.
It really went fast. It really did. Yeah. See?
And now you're over here wondering, like, dang, what do I do now?
I'm ready for the next one.
I'm ready for the next one. There you go, man. Yeah. Hey,
but no, this was fun. I really appreciate you just inviting me on and giving me the platform to be able to just spread knowledge, spread information, and just put myself out there and just again like for the opportunity.
I'll definitely have a loaner next time, man. Dang, should have done that one. I didn't think about it. I honestly didn't think about that until just now. I was like, damn.
Yeah, me either. But there you go. You live and you learn.
Hey, you live and you learn. That's what this whole podcast is all about. It's learning experience. Hey, we're keeping it as real as we can over here on this side.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jesse. So, I mean, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Where is Jesse Rodriguez going to be?
I would like to take a step back from the production side a little bit, maybe become a broker. Definitely want to get into the house flipping side of it all. I wouldn't mind doing 10 transactions a year, but I don't think I want for that to be my forever. I'm not trying to be 70 years old still showing houses. So but just finding maybe another path into it that's because I'm really interested in flipping houses. I would like to venture into that a little bit.
Hey, yeah, that's a pretty trendy thing right now too. We're flipping houses.
Oh, yeah.
What else? You got Airbnbs. People just making money left and right now with all that type of stuff.
The potential is just limitless on that kind of stuff. As long as you've got somebody that's willing to teach you and you're willing to learn, you can do anything. Oh, that was a question I was going to ask you again. Good. I freaking forgot. I even told myself I'm not gonna forget about this. I'm not gonna forget about this. And guess what? I forgot. We gotta keep talking because I need that thing to come back. And if I find it, I'm gonna tell you, like, Jesse, shut up. I need to ask this question before it leaves. Just cut me off. Yeah,
just cut you off. But yeah, man. I don't know. It has something to do with. Oh yes, I got it. Oh, it came back to me.
There you go. There you go.
As of now, how many houses have you sold? I don't know if that's an appropriate question.
No. So as of right now, I think I've done from January 1st to now, I've done almost $1 million in volume, which comes out to probably about 7 houses or so. So it's been a pretty good beginning of the year for me.
Oh no! So you sold 7 houses just this year?
Yeah. From
That's
you want to
good.
know total?
Yeah, total. I was like, no, that doesn't sound right, Jesse.
Man.
If I'm trying to help you grow here, you need to help me out. No, yeah, like altogether, since you started your whole profession since then.
I would say I've probably sold 60 plus homes, maybe.
And that's been since
I counted
2019.
I counted since 2019. And again, that's giving me the COVID years when it could have been more, but it was crazy.
I think that's good. I think that's really good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like it's just a growing thing.
You've sold 60, but how many have you helped buy?
Now you're really putting me on the spot. Now I gotta pull up my calendar.
See? Hey, that matters too.
I will say, in the beginning, I was definitely more of a buyer's agent because listings terrified me. I was like, there's so many mistakes that can be made on the selling side, but I don't know. Hopefully there's some new buyers that are watching, some new sellers. So at the end of the day, I'm ready to work.
Yeah. There you go. See, I couldn't be a real estate agent. I would I would be buried under pressure. I'll probably give a house away. Who knows? But
oh my God.
like I'll be bad. Like I'm clumsy. I'll be horrible. Let's just say that. I'm good where I'm at now. Jesse, I'm not even a people person. Like the only reason why I'm good right now is because, first of all, we've known each other for many years.
For a long time, yeah.
And not only that, it's freaking the podcast. Like I have to be on. I have to be entertaining. I have to be talkative and all that stuff. Friendly. I feel like I have to be on here, not because I'm forced to.
Yeah.
And you're here, but because we've known each other for a very long time.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what helped a lot too when I was, when you initially asked me if I would come on and I would be a guest. If it had been anybody else, I probably would have hesitated and been like, let me think about it. But
like if it was somebody more important.
Oh my God.
Channel 13. Nah, it's just the Rick. No, I try to get you guys as comfortable as possible. And you never know who I'm gonna ask to be on. That's the good part about it, is that I know people probably didn't even expect you to be on. Like people probably didn't even know that me and you knew each other.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I like to keep that aura because it gets people like tuned in, like, oh crap, like he knows him. How does he know him? Like I would have never expected, but people wouldn't know that you and I actually grew up together. So there's that.
And like you said, you just you just connection. Everybody's connected all the time.
Exactly. And for those of you watching or who are going to be watching later on, I'm telling you right now, you never know when your time will come. And I'm not talking about like death or anything like that. I'm talking about like your time to be on the podcast. So keep an eye on your DMs. You just never know when I'll be hitting you up, and that's just facts right there. Like
yeah.
Like seriously, I'm pretty sure I even took Jesse by surprise.
You did. But I mean, like I said, it was fun. I was excited. Because again, I haven't done too many of these. So but it helped. Knowing each other for a while. And again, anytime that I can just spread knowledge and help somebody, or maybe even answer a question that someone's had, but they think, I don't want to ask it because I don't want to waste anyone's time. I mean, no question is a dumb question. I tell people all the time, even if you don't feel like you want to buy for another year or two, reach out to me, contact me, DM me. Like, I'm just happy to help.
And you never know who we're going to be helping out by doing an episode like this. If you're ever thinking of buying, thinking of selling, whatever the case is, go ahead and hit him up. He's very knowledgeable. If you can give us like your information, I don't know if you would be good with that. I could go ahead and post it here for everybody. Do you have a realtor phone number that somebody can get at you?
Yes. So phone number is 270-1958. Uh,
Remember, don't call him at a certain after 9 booty call hours, after 10 or booty call hours, man.
Booty call
Do
hours.
not hit him up after 10 o'clock. You don't want to. You don't want to get any mixed signals. I'm telling you that right now.
I got to get some good rest to help you, the next day. So
Exactly. So for everybody watching, if you're, like I mentioned before, if you're thinking about buying, selling a home, whatever the case is, buying property, I know that's pretty popular right now too. Buying property. Go ahead and hit my boy up. That's Jesse Rodriguez. His phone number is 832-270-1958. Don't hit him up after 10 o'clock. I'm warning you. Do not do that. Do not be that person. Hit him up tomorrow, wherever the case may be, from 9 to 5. Business call, business hours.
Even if it's 6 o'clock, I'll be 6:30.
There you go. Hey, hit him up. He's very knowledgeable. He'll guide you in the right direction. Even if he doesn't know the answer, he will make sure he finds that answer for you.
I'm telling you, I tell everybody, if you're looking to invest, sell, or buy, Jesse's your guy. Even if it's new construction, take me with you, because I can still negotiate new construction.
Yeah, because new constructions, I feel like even sometimes you do need that realtor.
Oh, yeah.
Like you mentioned before, some people at that facility won't necessarily agree, but you do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And like I said, it's, again, people go in and they think the salesperson, oh, that's my agent, that's my point of contact.
Exactly.
They're there to represent the builder.
Yes, they're there to represent the builder. And guess what? After they sell you that house, they're gone. They're gone. You'll never hear from them again. Seriously. But yeah. Exactly. Jesse, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for having an outstanding conversation with me. You made it real comfortable for me, as well as yourself. I mean, you felt the vibes, even though we're not necessarily in the same building.
It felt like we were.
Yeah, we vibe pretty well.
Oh yeah.
So thank you so much for joining me here today. I greatly appreciate that. I appreciate your time, and just thanks altogether. I wish you nothing but the best in your real estate journey, and many blessings.
And same to you on the podcast. I'll be watching.
Hey man, thank you so much. You never know what's gonna be popping here.
There you go.
But thank you, Jesse, so much. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, and I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to everybody else as I close out this episode for one last thought. All right, Jesse. Thank you so much, man. Good night.
Sir, take it easy. Everybody, have a good night.
Thank you, bro. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode with me and Jesse, man. Like I said, very knowledgeable person. Known him for many years. We had a great conversation. And yeah, man. If you have any questions on the real estate, whatever, hit him up. He'll guide you in the right direction. But yeah. My thoughts of this episode was just outstanding. It was a great episode. But yeah, guys, it's currently 10:40, and it did the episode pretty early. But hey, I felt like we got through everything that we had to talk about. I didn't want to drag it on, because guess what? That bores people a little bit. Because I'll eventually start talking about nonsense after that. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a new viewer, listener, major listener, go ahead and hit that share button wherever it is, Facebook, YouTube. Help me grow. You know the vibes. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll try to have another episode next Tuesday. I'll see who else I can catch up with. Remember to check your DMs for any sort of invitation. You never know who I may hit up. But yeah, like I mentioned, it's getting kind of cold right here in Houston again. Don't know why. You never know what to expect in this Texas weather. But thank you guys so much for joining me. It was a good one. Jesse, thank you so much. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Have a good rest of the night. and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Got down the beat.